Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Najwa Binti Zaidi and my entry number is 288521. This report shows the relationship between concept of consumer, concept of demand and concept of utility. To study the relationship between this concept, we have distributed a questionnaire form and made a comparison between the two famous fast food restaurants in Malaysia, which is KFC and McDonald's. Basically, consumer refer to final user of a purchased good or service, while demand refers to a consumer who wants to purchase goods or service and they willing to pay the price for that good or service. Utility is the term in economics that refers to the total satisfaction that consumer receive from consuming goods or service. Why we choose KFC and McDonald's in our questionnaire form? It is because this restaurant is the world's largest fast food restaurant chain with locations all over the world. We can observe that McDonald's and KFC sells identical meals with fried chicken being their most appealing menu item. So that's why we make a comparison between KFC and McDonald's restaurant in our questionnaire form.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Umairah binti Aeidi and my metric number is 288494. I will continue my part about 2.0 characteristic of respondent. In order to attain the studies goal, a quantitative research method was chosen in order. By using questionnaire as research method, a total of 18 respondents were chosen at random to respond to the question. The first segment, in particular, investigated into the information about the respondents' background in general, depending on the respondents' gender, ethnicity, and age. There were 18 respondents, both gender which are women and men of all ages and races. The background of the respondents is shown in the above figure where 11 respondents, which is 61.11% were male, while 7 respondents, 38.89% were female. We can infer from this diagram that the number of male respondents is higher than the number of female respondents. This is due to the fact that the number of customers is disproportionately distributed between men and women. Malaysia's population is diverse in terms of race, religion, and ethnicity. Malaysians are divided into 3 races: Malay, Chinese, and Indians, with the former accounting for the majority of the population. Due to the multidimensional and subjective character of ethnicity, data collection can be difficult. The pie chart shows the distribution of all respondents, with around approximately 15 respondents, which is 83.33% were Malay, while 3 respondents, 16.67% were Chinese. Malay people made up the bulk of those who responded. This could be because the Malay were the most common ethnic group in Malaysia, followed by Chinese, Indian, and others. They have a prominent presence in the national economy as the majority ethnicity. The respondents' age is depicted in the graph above. The respondents' ages range from 30 to 51 years old, and they were grouped into 4 age groups. The first range was from those aged below 30 within 13 respondents, which is 72.22%. Those between the age 31 to 40 had 1 respondent, 5.56%, whereas third and fourth stage were those aged 41 to 50 and above 51 years old with 2 respondents, 11.11% respectively. That's all from me, and let's move to the next presenter.
Next, 3.0 Consumer Behavior 1. In this session, we will be analyze the data gathered from the survey we have given out to respondents, which revolves around respondents' preference in their behavior of shopping based in situation and scenario we have given and their level of agreement. The first situation is, did the respondents prefer to purchase goods or products depending on their brand? From the pie chart, we can identify that most of respondents agree, which is equal to 39% of respondents will purchase goods or products solely on the brands that they have knowledge, recognize, or interested in. Next situation is, we have asked the respondents to rate their agreement on their willingness purchasing goods with recognized brands even though the price of the branded goods are considered high. We can see that 70% of them, which is equivalent to 3 respondents out of 18 respondents, strongly agree that they don't mind the high price as long as they can purchase the branded good. Next situation is we ask respondents if they will increase their purchase of goods if their income increase. From the bar graph, we can see that majority of respondents, which is 44.44% of respondents, agree that they will increasing their spending on purchase of goods if their income increase.
For the next situation, we ask the respondent whether they will increase their purchase if the price of goods is decreasing or low. As we can see from the bar graph, the majority of the respondents strongly agree that they will increase their purchase, which is 44.44%. Later on, the next question is whether the respondent prefer to buy goods online from shopping online platforms such as Shopee, Lazada, and etc. rather than in person. And the result is quite interesting since respondents moderately agree, which is 44.44% to buy goods online. And lastly, we ask the respondent if it is more convenient and cost-effective to purchase goods online, and majority 44.44% respondent moderately agree, while 16.67% respondents strongly agree that buy things online would benefit them the most.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Sufina Binti Aisha and my metric number is 288483. Now I'm going to present key aspects of consumer choice. First, consumer income. Consumers will mostly be considerate with the income and wages they get from the works they do, which is the consumer's budgetary constraint. Income also affects different goods like normal goods, inferior goods, complementary goods, and substitute goods. Second, the price of goods. All goods or services have different prices, but most of them have the same purpose and function. Usually, consumers tend to purchase cheaper goods than expensive goods. Besides, consumers also purchase goods based on their budget, and this is also related to consumers' income. Lastly, the price of the goods in the future also affects consumer choices. Other than that, consumer preference. Consumer preference are a set of assumptions that focus on consumer choices that will result in consumer satisfaction, happiness, or utility. Consumer preference do not depend on income or the price of goods, but consumer satisfaction when consumers purchase goods. To get the rank of consumer preference, we have to make some assumption about the consumer. Lastly, the assumption that consumers maximize utility. The first assumption is consumers are considered to be rational because they try to get the best value for their money. Second, consumers have a limited income because their resources are limited. Third, consumer preferences are clear for various goods and products.
Hello, my name is Yaap Wei Zhang and my metric number is 288499, and now I'm going to present results from the survey. Our group has made a survey to study the respondents' opinion on the changes of price between good A and also good B. Now let's get into the questionnaires from the survey. The first questionnaire is that if the price of good A falls by 50%, I will purchase it. Most of the respondents, which are 50% of respondents, strongly agree. 28% of respondents agree that they will purchase good A if the price of good A falls by 50%. Some of the respondents, which are 22% respondents, will be more considerate because their income is relatively low, so they still cannot afford it even if the price falls. The second questionnaire is that even if the price of good A is high, I will still purchase good A. Most of the respondents, which are 33% of respondents, are moderate and 28% of respondents disagree. 22% of respondents and 11% of respondents will still purchase good A even if the price is high and as they are loyal to good A. 33% of the respondents will hesitate because they have low income. Third questionnaire is that if the price of good B rises by 50%, I will purchase good A. Most of the respondents, which are 44% of respondents, strongly agree and 28% of respondents agree because good A and good B are substitute goods. 17% of respondents are hesitant as they cannot afford both options because of low income. Some respondents, which are 11% of respondents, also disagree because they don't like good A at all, so they won't even purchase it. The fourth questionnaire is that if my income increases by 50%, I will purchase good A. Most of the respondents, which are 44% of respondents, strongly agree and 22% of respondents agree because the increase in income caused their demand towards normal good to also increase. 17% of the respondents are hesitant as they believe good A is not that important for them. At the same time, 17% of respondents disagree due to their own preference. They don't like good A, so they will still not purchase good A even if their income increases. The last questionnaire in the survey is that if my income increases by 50%, I will purchase both good A and B. Most of the respondents, which are 28% of respondents, strongly agree and 28% of respondents agree also. This is because their purchasing power increases and they can afford both good A and also good B. The rest of 44% of respondents are being hesitant because they have better options or they only need one of them. So that's all about the results from the survey. Thank you.
4.2 Factors of purchasing KFC or McDonald's. Nowadays, KFC and McDonald's are the most popular fast food chain in Malaysia. As of 2021, there are about 282 McDonald's restaurants outlets and approximately 600 KFC outlets, which affect fast food chains drastically increase more than restaurants. However, fast food restaurants are perceived differently these days, with many people viewing it as a form of informal eating perception. This creates a major battle between these two big corporations. In order to attract more customers, they have multiple strategies. On top of that, there are a few key aspects that affect consumer choice between those brands. The factor that can determine between McDonald's and KFC is the price of the products. Other than that, consumer preference and personal taste can affect the success of a fast food chain. Next, the other factor is the price of related goods. And the last factor is consumer incomes. To recap on our research, consumers' demand and utility are a vital part in business, as we acknowledge that consumer is a final user of a purchased good or service. Demand refers to a consumer who wants to purchase good or service and willing to pay the price for that goods, while utility is the term in economic that refers to the total satisfaction that consumers receive from consuming goods or service. From the consumer behavior questionnaire that has been answered by 18 consumers, we categorize them based on gender, ethnicity, and age. To be fair, this questionnaire was given randomly and they answered it willingly based on their opinion. On top of that, there are several factors that may be a key aspect of consumer choice, such as consumer income, the price of good, consumer preference, and the assumption that consumers maximize utility. As we know, that can be major factors that may affect the changes in KFC and McDonald's demand slope. Lastly, from the survey for consumer behavior 2, several questions play a big role for the factor changes of demand slope, and we believe that the choice can change from time to time since these two major fast food brands continues to compete in order to attract customers and gain more profit.